How do Lincoln's word choice and his use of pronouns in paragraphs 1 and 3 in the Gettysburg Address influence the audience? In this lesson, you will learn how to determine the persuasive impact of an author's words by analyzing the word's connotative meanings. Let's review. We've been reading Abraham Lincoln's speech, the Gettysburg Address. This is a nonfiction persuasive speech that Lincoln gave on November 19, 1863, after the Battle of Gettysburg. Let's also review connotation. Connotation is the idea, quality, or emotional association attached to a word. This would be what someone thinks about or feels with a word, and it goes beyond the dictionary definition. When someone is trying to persuade, a technique often used is to target emotional associations. Here's an example of the influence of a word's connotation. An author might write, "A mouse ran in through my back door." Or, an author might replace the word mouse with vermin if they would like to portray mouse negatively. "The vermin ran in through my back door." Vermin is another way to refer to mice and other rodents, but it brings up the idea of uncleanliness and disease, and it evokes a feeling of disgust or fear. To accomplish our task, we are going to use the following 3 steps. Reread, noticing words that refer to the audience. Ask, what is the word's connotation? And ask, how does the author's word choice persuade the audience? How did Lincoln's words choice and his use of pronouns in paragraphs 1 and 3 in the Gettysburg Address influence the audience? This question lets me know that I'm going to use paragraphs 1 and 3 to accomplish the task of answering this question. My first step is to reread, noticing words that refer to the audience. I'm going to look at the collective pronouns that Lincoln uses in the speech. They, we, our, and us appear often in his speech. The context of they informs me Lincoln is referring to the people who fought and died, as in this statement, they who fought here. I am not highlighting they because it is not a reference to the audience. I am highlighting our fathers since it refers to the audience, and the use of the possessive pronoun our is attached to the word fathers. I am also highlighting the collective pronouns we and us since they refer to the audience. These pronouns are inclusive since Lincoln is talking about himself as well as the audience when he uses we and us. I did notice he does not use me or you. That's important to the way his audience would feel. I'm going to look at that in my next step. Okay, I have all my words highlighted, so now I need to think about their connotations. I'm asking myself, what is this word's connotation? When Lincoln uses the word our fathers, the context lets me know he is using it to represent the founders of the United States. However, our fathers makes me think of my dad, which always makes me think of my family and how we stick together and help each other out. The pronouns we and us make me feel like I am included in this group, similar to the way the other words make me feel like I am part of a family. These are very inclusive pronouns and make me feel a sense of togetherness, even with Lincoln since he includes himself too. Lincoln, the President of the United States, is connecting himself with the audience. With the word's connotation in mind, I am asking myself, how does the author's word choice persuade the audience? His words made me think of family and belonging. I feel a sense of togetherness. The feeling of family and togetherness are very important because when he says, it is for us the living, rather to be dedicated here to the unfinished work, the audience feels like it is truly their responsibility to fight for these ideals he is referring to. Lincoln's word choice persuades the audience because it creates a sense of family, togetherness, and therefore a sense of responsibility. Now that I've done some good thinking about Lincoln's word choice, I need to go back and answer the original question. How do Lincoln's word choice and use of pronouns in paragraphs 1 and 3 in the Gettysburg Address influence the audience? To help me answer this, I have my highlighted words as well as my notes. When I put them together, I come up with this answer. Lincoln's choice of pronouns influences his audience by creating a sense of family and responsibility. Choosing to say "our fathers" to represent the people who found the United States carries an emotional impact. It makes his audience think of their own fathers and families, and his use of "our" in conjunction with fathers creates a sense that this family is shared. He further promotes this idea of togetherness by choosing to use the collective pronouns of "we" and "us," uniting himself with his audience. The feeling of family and togetherness that he creates throughout the Gettysburg Address continues to influence the audience when he signals a shift in responsibility in the sentence, "It is for us, the living, rather, to be here dedicated to the unfinished work." He makes it the audience's responsibility to fight for these ideals. The 3 steps we used today were: reread, noticing words that refer to the audience; ask, what is the word's connotation? And ask, how does the author's word choice persuade the audience? In this lesson, you have learned how to determine the persuasive impact of an author's words by analyzing the word's connotative meanings.